Ring walk Danny in Miami here with the WBC president, Mr. Mauricio Sulaimán. Mauricio, mucho gusto. Pleasure having you. We're in Miami for Canelo Yeardrum. Thoughts on the fight? You know, you don't see too many fights of this magnitude here in Miami. To have a fighter like Canelo Alvarez represent the WBC and it's mandatory. How do you feel about that?
I am very happy and very excited. This bubble has been a tremendous experience, and I have seen many friends that I have not seen in a long time. We're very excited to be back in a stadium with fans, and it's going to be a great fight. Yildirim is a fighter who earned his opportunity with a fight with Dirrell, in which he was a controversial technical decision, split decision. He was a mandatory to fight for the title, and then Benavides could not make the weight and the title became vacant. So that is how Yildirim gets to this stage, and it should be a great fight.
Now, we just saw, it seems like we just saw Canelo a few weeks ago, but it was back in December against Callum Smith, where he picked up the WBC super middleweight title. What do you think of somebody of Canelo's magnitude to see him that quick back in the ring? It was just 2 months ago.
Well, that is great. It's exemplary. It shows Canelo's dedication and commitment. He's always in shape. He's always training, and he wants to fight 4 times this year. So he's got to get through Yildirim tomorrow. That's the first step. But he wants to be very active and continue giving fans great emotions throughout this year.
Now, the WBC had a phenomenal title fight last weekend, where we saw Miguel losing devastating fashion to Oscar Valdez. What are your thoughts? I saw you just sent Oscar the belt. What were your thoughts on the fight? And have you spoken to Miguel in regards to his health and whatnot?
It was a tremendous fight. It was a complicated, difficult fight because both are good friends. They have trained together. They have dreamed together,
right.
And they go into the ring and perform a great, unbelievable fight with a dramatic knockout. And then the sportsmanship by Valdez, kneeling down and taking care of his former champion. I spoke to Valdez. He's very happy. I have not been able to find Berchelt directly.
Okay.
We text some messages. I have been trying to call him. I have not been able to reach him. I know all his medical exams came out negative, so I hope that he recovers. He will have another opportunity. He's a great champ.
So is that a rematch that you want to pursue for Oscar Valdez, or something you're going to mandate? Do you know if there's a rematch clause?
No, we are mandating a 60-day suspension of no training. He cannot even run. He should not do any exercise for 60 days, 2 months. Then we will make an evaluation of his weight status.
Okay.
It is known that he has suffered to make weight, not for this fight, but for previous fights. So it would be most likely our recommendation that he moves up
to 135.
To 135, to lightweight.
So where does that put Oscar Valdez? Obviously, being champion, he was champion at 126, now champion at 130. A lot of people have been calling him out, just like Shakur Stevenson. Is that a fight, do you think, that the WBC would be interested in ordering and making a Stevenson maybe against Oscar Valdez?
Yeah, that would be a great fight. Valdez has 1 full year absolutely free to take any fights that he wishes, because he won the title as mandatory contender.
Okay.
So he has no commitments. He has a full year to do any fights that he wishes to do.
Now, really quick, yesterday we had a surprising purse bid with Matchroom and Top Rank being outbidded by Triller. They're the ones that put on the Mike Tyson and Roy Jones fight. They bid for the Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos fight. What were your thoughts on that, given that is a WBC franchise belt, is that going to be up for grabs in that fight?
Yeah. Teofimo is the undisputed champion. He's got the franchise designation. He's WBC champion, and he it's a great situation. It's a new platform that is looking into boxing. Anything that is good for the boxers is celebrated. We hope that they bring a solid platform that continue taking on events, and this is an opportunity for fighters to make money. And there's promoters, there's platforms, there's networks, and this is a very good moment for the sport. So we'll see what happens.
The lightweight division, I feel like, is one of the hottest in the sport of boxing right now. Teofimo upsetting Lomachenko. You have the likes of Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. Speak to us on that.
Linares, Fortuna.
Right. I mean, it goes on and on. You could almost make a tournament with the fighters you have at 135. Speak to us on that, as far as, because I feel like there's a lot of confusion amongst the media and the fans as to who is the WBC champion at 135 pounds. We knew that you guys designated Lomachenko the franchise champion at your convention last year. And so that meant Devin Haney was elevated to full champion. Where does it stand now? Because we thought that franchise belt couldn't be transferred. So we're obviously, and it was to Teofimo after he beat Lomachenko. So where's Devin Haney at? Like, what's his status, and what's the difference between him and Teofimo Lopez?
Yeah, the franchise designation is a new concept that the WBC introduced to give certain benefits to very few fighters who have an elite position. Canelo is franchise. He has a designation. He's not using it in this fight because he won the title and he wants to unify the division. And he's just fighting in the super middleweight. And Lomachenko was appointed, designated franchise champion when one of the goals precisely for this to happen was to be able to do Lomachenko against Lopez. That was one of the goals for the franchise designation. When they signed the fight, Lopez petitioned the WBC. He wanted to win the championship and he wanted to become franchise. The WBC voted Board of Governors in favor, and that's how he was appointed as a franchise champion. And Devin Haney, so we have this new designation. It's a new concept. I understand there's confusions with the fans and with the media, but anything that is new, of course, has to develop.
Absolutely.
So Teofimo is the franchise champion, Devin Haney is the WBC champion, and Ryan Garcia won the interim champion because there was a prior contract when Luke Campbell was going to fight Fortuna for the title when Haney was injured.
Right.
But then the pandemic put everything on hold for 1 year, and Haney healed, so he came back, and they could not fight for the world title because Haney was back as champion. So the WBC respected the rights that Luke Campbell had and allowed an interim title fight. So it's a bit confusing, but it's a tournament. So the result has been that we have seen great fights happen in the ring, and that's the whole purpose of this situation.
Obviously, Teofimo's taking care of his IBF mandatory with George Kambosos. We saw Ryan Garcia have a successful fight in January against Luke Campbell. Does that mean that the WBC is going to order Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney for the WBC World Championship?
We have spoken to all the camps. We understand the complications of promoting at this moment, and such fight they wish to hold when there's public available. Okay. So we are talking to all the sides. We are about to release the WBC official position. We have tried to be very flexible, and we have mediated to try to find amicable agreements between all the parties because we want the great fights to happen.
I heard you say it, but could you call Teofimo undisputed?
Absolutely.
Even though that's just a franchise title?
Absolutely. He defeated Lomachenko. He defeated who was considered the pound-for-pound champion. And if that creates confusion, I take the high road and I praise Teofimo, and I am happy for him, and he has to be considered as the undisputed champion.
But do you still acknowledge Devin Haney as a WBC champion?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
The WBC has that platform. We have a new concept.
Right.
It's franchise, so he's franchise champion.
Okay.
Then we have Devin Haney, and unfortunately, through all this process, there was an interim champion that had to be respected because there were contracts signed, but that will lead to great fights. So I'm happy and confident, and all we want is to see great boxing in the ring.
Awesome. So given the Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, how huge of a fight that could be, and you just said how both sides want fans in attendance, where do you think that puts Devin Haney right now? Because it seems like Ryan's going to do his own thing. Where do you, and obviously Teofimo's doing his own thing. Where do you think that leaves Devin Haney? Maybe a Jorge Linares or Javier Fortuna fight?
The parties are talking. I don't want to make any statements.
Okay.
They're talking. They're looking into good solutions for all the fighters involved, and we'll be having something solid in a few days.
Beautiful. Now, Mauricio, before I let you go, talk to us about what you have right here very quickly.
We have Canelo and we have Gilded Him. These are toys, dolls that our social responsibility program is supporting a village in Tampico, Mexico, and they do these beautiful things, and we are happy to provide work to this village.
Beautiful, Mauricio. Thank you. WBC always doing great things. Thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to a beautiful fight tomorrow night here in Miami. Excellent.
Thank you so much, and let's have a great year.
If you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, from title, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.